What up, people? It's Nickopz here, and today I'm going to be talking about Sub-Zero. I just recorded this video talking about everything I wanted to say about this character, and I wanted to condense it because it got to like the 19-minute mark, and I feel like people are going to think I'm picking a side when it comes to this, and I'm not. I am in the middle on this topic. I want to make that very clear because I feel like a lot of the people who are against the Sub-Zero community are right, and I feel like a lot of people a part of the Sub-Zero community are right about this character. It's just like I said, I'm in the middle on it because there's so many nuances about this character and so many different things that are right on each side. And I'm gonna give my take on it, discussing the recent drama that's been going on with this character. So even though this character has, always been in the drama, I feel like it really blew up, over the past couple of days because of this Twitter post that I'm gonna bring up on the screen right here. And this is also the problem with the NRS community. The NRS community gives people like that just aren't really known and just saying negative stuff for no, well, I ain't gonna say for no reason, but there's been so many topics that have blown up off of a random Twitter name that isn't known and has an opinion by saying something negative. But I just feel like the community just needs to stop giving these people so much attention, because if there was somebody that made a post talking about all the content creators they love, like just name like 25 of them, all the MK content creators they love, nobody would talk about it. But because we got somebody named Sub-Zero 1110 posting a horrendous, and I mean a horrendous matchup chart, now the community's talking. So again, but I usually don't go out of my way to show off topics based on these people, but this lined up with a topic I wanted to make on me talking about Sub-Zero. And if you don't believe I wanted to already talk about Sub-Zero, go check my community posts. So that player by the name of Sub-Zero 110 posted this horrendous matchup chart, this terrible, terrible matchup chart. And somebody by the name of a Foxy Grandpa, who is top 5, in my opinion, NRS players of all time, best NRS players of all time, not of this game, in my opinion, I'm talking about of all time. If Foxy Grandpa isn't in your bare minimum top 10, you don't really know what you're talking about when it comes to the competitive NRS scene. And it's simple as that. And in my opinion, I think he's top 5 of all time. Again, because I know some people in the comments, not of this game, of all time. So he said actual 100% certified skill issue. And that sparked a whole bunch of arguments. And I'm not going to go over the arguments. If y'all want to see the arguments, I'm going to go ahead and scroll. I'm going to click on it right here. And then I'm going to scroll. If you want to pause and read all the arguments, I'm going to be giving the quick take on the arguments because it really, I'm not going to say it's really meaningless to go over it, but it can be quickly gone over without having to read every single, argument. But I know there's some people that want to read that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll through this for y'all if y'all want to pause it. And then there's one more. This one right here. So again, to show this one off just in case, you want to read through that? Basically, what Foxy was saying to all of these people here is he feels like Sub-Zero players are downplaying the character, and he is not acting like Sub-Zero is just like meta or top tier or anything. He's just basically saying Sub-Zero is better than a lot of people think, and he is a big believer of Sonya Sub-Zero. I said Belover because I was combining Sub-Zero and Sonya, but he's a big believer of Sub-Zero and Sonya, and he thinks that Sub-Zero is better than a lot of people say. And to all the people that are combating him, he basically just says, "Hey, I'm better than you, and fight me if you disagree otherwise." Now he's not saying that to everybody, just to people that are acting like he won't whoop them, and he is giving actual reasons why he feels like Sub-Zero is better than a lot of those people are saying. He's not just pulling the "I'm better" card, this, that, and the other. It's when they start to get disrespectful, he pulls that. But at the end of the day, he's saying, hey, I played the character myself. I am doing good with him. I found a way to make him work, and that's that. And he's giving his reasons why, but a lot of people don't agree. So, because of that, that sparked a whole lot of arguments if you want to go read all that. But now we're going to get into my take on Sub-Zero and why I think Sub-Zero is actually very misunderstood, and I'm in the middle on this. Now, let's make something very freaking clear right now, because this is not going to be something that I feel like the community should start. Sub-Zero is not bottom one. If you think Sub-Zero is bottom one, I don't know what to tell you. He's not a bottom one character, like, at all. And Takeda is bottom one, easily. Like, it's not even close. The problem with a lot of Sub-Zero players, I feel, is Sub-Zero attracts a lot of loyalists. And when you're a loyalist, you're looking at the game through the eyes of like a matchup chart. I feel like a lot of the worst opinions on fighting games usually come from hardcore loyalists, because they're looking at the game through one character, and to have 100% solidified opinions when you're a pure loyalist, it's really hard to have good opinions based off of that, I feel. And a lot of Sub-Zero players live, breathe, eat, die Sub-Zero. And if you think this character is bottom one, you just not have played some other characters. Now, the main character, again, I'm going to say is Takeda. Anybody worth their salt in this game, anybody who's decent, anybody who understands how fighting games work, know Takeda is the worst character in the game. If you don't think Takeda is the worst character in the game, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's actually not even a competition. It's genuinely not. And I feel like Sub-Zero, even though I don't think, again, let's make something else clear. I don't think Sub-Zero is a very great character, and I don't think Sub-Zero is a very bad character. I feel like Sub-Zero is around the realm overall. Again, overall. Mid or like low mid. I think he's around there. And I think that because there are certain things about this character that he's just lacking. And that segues to this topic right here that a lot of Sub-Zero players don't want to talk about, but it's true. I'm sorry, y'all. It's true. Sub-Zero becomes a good character with Chameleon. Y'all cannot get around this. I don't know why so many Sub-Zero players try to get around this topic. With Chameleon, your character is good. Whether you want to debate he's meta or not, whether you want to debate, you know, if he's top 10, top 15, like some people like to place Sub-Zero Chameleon, because a lot of people tend to think that this is like a top 15 team. And if you want to say that, that's not what I'm here to argue. I'm not going to give either side room to argue whether this team is meta, but what you cannot say is Sub-Zero Chameleon is a bad team. You can't say that. This is a good team. Like, at the end of the day, you cannot argue this. If you want to play Sub-Zero at the best, at the most optimal form, the most optimal way, you need to play Chameleon. But see, that's also a good and a bad thing. Now, before I get into why that is, let me just show off what Chameleon gives him. It gives him so much. If you're a Sub-Zero player, you don't really need to see this part, but it gives him, let's go over each one. The blue gives him just amazing mobility in his moves that he already, you know, okay. It gives him amazing mobility and also gives him confirms off of the slide. So he can slide and then get a whole combo from this hit. He can also just do something like clone, go in, and then change the trajectory of his dive kick. Not change the trajectory, but change like the airborneness of it. Like, I guess that's trajectory if you want to say it, but he can change the trajectory of his jump in with the dive kick. So he's one of the characters, like a lot of people who try to get in full screen with Chameleon, a lot of people can just anti-air you, but you can't do that to Sub-Zero because he'll dive kick, or you can bait out the up block because they can't just throw out an anti-air. They have to react to it. So with that slide also giving him confirms, it also gives him, the overhead low, and he also can overhead you safely. He can do this. This is safe. He can low you. This is safe, and he gets a full comp. He gets a full comp off of both. He can mid you, and it's safe, and it launches. It gives him a launcher to his mix-ups and his mid. So blue does already so much for him. He would be chilling if blue was an assist alone. On top of that, Melina, this is like the rush down one. This gives him really good rush down and neutral control tools as well, because Chameleon allows him to do this garbage fireball and get away with it. But more on that when we get to the green. So if he does this fireball right here and the green, oh wait, no, we're gonna get to the green in a second. So he gets the double overhead, low confirm, and he can kind of like just call these in and then get in neutral. Like get through neutral really quick with all the Chameleon options. Actually, that's just what Chameleon does. But with Sub-Zero, he really gets coverage from this garbage projectile if he wants, and he just gets good stuff with Pink Chameleon. He gets good rush down tools with her. Now, even though this ain't 100% a real wake up, it is kind of like a ghetto wake up. So if he gets knocked down, he can wake up with overhead Chameleon, and he has a armored low slide. So again, that's also something he can combo off of. So he gets so much stuff with Pink Chameleon, and also with Green Chameleon, it gives him everything that Serena gives him. And Serena is probably Sub-Zero's most popular cameo of all time. So again, Chameleon green form is just a better version of Serena. So you get like the safe overhead, and it's plus you can like down one check them. You get the safe low. You can confirm off the screen that they buff. You get the mid confirmed too. You get like basically the tools he needs to keep himself safe and do damage. The stuff he can't do alone, really, for the most part. Well, he can stay safe, but not really good damage alone. So, and also one of the real good things about Green Chameleon is this garbage projectile becomes useful. That confirms full screen. So, again, you get a complete character with Chameleon. This cameo is good for Sub-Zero. And if you want to make the argument that I feel like a lot of people try to make when it comes to this combination, well, if Sub-Zero is good off Chameleon, wouldn't that mean that makes, anybody good off Chameleon? If, Sub-Zero is not good by himself, if Chameleon makes him good, wouldn't you be able to just slap Chameleon on anybody and they make him as good? No, that's not how assist games work. I'm sorry if people don't get that, but I understand this is a lot of NRS players' first assist game, but that's not how assist games work. So even though, let's look at Lee May. Lee May is naturally a better character than Sub-Zero, like base. But if you slap Chameleon on Lee May, it's not good as if you slap Chameleon on Sub-Zero. It's just not. Because Sub-Zero has better synergy with Chameleon than Lee May does. I don't get how that's so hard for people to understand, but I feel like a lot of Sub-Zero players try to make that an arguing point, and it's not. Now, this is the one where I kind of advocate for, but it's still wrong on the Sub-Zero's side. They say, well, it's not a good thing if Chameleon is only meta. Well, not meta. It's not a good thing if Sub-Zero is only good with Chameleon because he can't use anything else. And that's something where the main thing I want to say I'm in the middle of, because I agree with that, but it's still, don't take away from the fact this is an assist game. And if you want the best you can get out of Sub-Zero, you got to suck it up and play Chameleon. And again, I don't agree with you having to be able to do that, but that don't change what it is. And this video is still probably going to go to 19 minutes, but I guess I need all the time to get my points out. So if you want a Sub-Zero at the best form he can be, you need to play him with Chameleon. You have to. You don't get around that. And I feel like a lot of Sub-Zero players, they're mad about that. And I completely get why y'all are mad about that. But y'all still need to acknowledge that you have a good character with Chameleon. And Chameleon does more for Sub-Zero than like half the cast. So again, you have a good character. If you want a good Sub-Zero, you gotta slap on that Chameleon. You don't have a choice. Now, do I think that's a good thing? Absolutely not. That's why I said everybody needs to shut up about the Pharah nerfs and everything, because we need more good cameos in this game, not less. We need more good cameos for characters to use. So when you got people complaining when they finally put like a good cameo that does a lot for the cast and not just a lot for 3 characters, I feel like it was pointless to whine about that. We need more good cameos. I don't think it's a good thing that Sub-Zero's only get to play Chameleon, because even though I believe Chameleon's top 1, I would hate to have to use Chameleon. I would absolutely hate to have to use this cameo for a character I love, because the cameo, in my opinion, I've made plenty of videos about it. It's not fun to use. It's dumb. It's a cracked cameo, but when you're using that cameo, you're not the star. You're not the player. You're playing your character, but Chameleon's playing you. You got to do whenever Chameleon wants. You see when that thing light up and that switch changes, your whole playstyle has to change multiple times on the spot. And it's not a trade-off. It's not a bad trade-off for having such a cracked assist. But if you don't want to do that, if you like things more rigid, things more, baseline, and not have to worry about the assist changing all the time, like most people, they don't want to have to do that, then, you having to use Chameleon is probably annoying. And I get that for Sub-Zero players. A lot of y'all don't even really want to use Chameleon. I really don't think y'all do. And it sucks that y'all have to. But does it change the fact you can't get around the fact that you still have a good character with Chameleon? And again, that's why I'm directly in the middle of it, because it's cycling. Like, yes, I understand Sub-Zero is good with Chameleon. And yes, I feel like Sub-Zero players need to acknowledge that, but that doesn't mean they need to be happy about it, because only being able to use one cameo to make your assist good in an assist fighter can probably be boring and annoying. It's probably why all of them are always mad. And like, they really are. And I'd be mad too if a character I loved could only use one assist and they were garbage without, like, garbage by themselves. Like Sub-Zero, let's make this clear. Again, Sub-Zero's garbage by himself. Oh, this character is terrible. Without the proper assist, like, as a baseline character, this character sucks. Like, really bad. Like, really, really bad. That's why I say, again, I'm in the middle, but I know there's going to be that one stupid comment that thinks I'm on a side that don't watch this far into the video. But again, like I said, I'm in the middle on this completely, because again, there's just so many arguments that could be made about, Sub-Zero. I really think he's a bad character alone, but again, this is a cameo fighter. It's a cameo fighter at the end of the day. So if he is bad alone, that doesn't matter, but I can get how that could be annoying, because you're not going to have a lot of synergy with this character, because he needs so much to make up for what he lacks. But luckily there's Chameleon in the game that gives him that. And that's all there is to it. Now, do I think Sub-Zero can go for like a buff to change his base kit and make his base kit better? Yeah, I don't think there would be anything wrong with that. And with how everything that has been changing, I don't know where they could start. But again, to address all the drama, I feel like, again, people just need to understand that main topic on the Sub-Zero community, so everybody could just stop arguing over it. And let's address that one more time. Sub-Zero is not bottom 1, first of all. That's the first thing. He is not a very great character, and he's not a very bad character, because honestly, there's no reason to pick him over a lot of other characters in the game. And another thing is the Sub-Zero players, most of y'all are loyalists, so y'all are only seeing this game through Sub-Zero's eyes, and that's not really, the way to go to have 100% solidified opinions on, multiple things overall. Like on Sub-Zero, certain things about him, okay. But on things overall, no. Usually character loyalists don't have really good opinions on things overall. And what the fourth thing, people need to understand that, again, even though Sub-Zero players need to acknowledge that their character is good with Chameleon, y'all need to understand that that also might be irritating for them to have to use Chameleon in a game that has multiple assists. So, again, that's why I keep saying this over and over and over again. We need better assist in the game. More buffs to assist, and they're doing it. Props to NRS. Like, they buffed the crap out of Trimmer. They're buffing assists. They buffed Frost. NRS is on a roll. Keep doing y'all thing, NRS. Keep buffing stuff. That's what we need. No more nerfs. But yeah, that's my take on Sub-Zero and everything. I feel like the community just really needs to stop arguing about him. And it's like all this discourse about Sub-Zero is being caused because of Chameleon. Because if Chameleon wasn't in the game, it would be a whole different argument point on this character. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And Nickopz out.